Good morning and welcome to another Foster and Marshall podcast where we ask the all-important questions and want to know the answers why.
Now, I might have just taken off on one here, Foster, so forgive me. But I just want to say hello to everyone and hope you're all enjoying the sun because the sun is health giving and it's giving you vitamin D and vitamin D3. And there are 1,000 genes that are being activated in our body. That's a scientific fact. So I'm sure, and also I do want to say, mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun, and unfortunately, I don't know what it is, whether it's in the water, because we know what goes in the water now, don't we, Foster? People
Yeah,
are not realizing you have to be sensible. Early morning sun or the late afternoon sun, but the midday, getting out there, I know in a full blown heat of the sun is not good. If you watch nature, you'll see all the wild birds, they all go because they're having a siesta out of the sun. It's here, it's happening, isn't it, Foster?
absolutely. I think the thing is, Marshall, when we were younger, we were taught that phase,
Yeah,
although it was something that was, amusing at the time, we were actually taught not to go out in the midday sun and that we should actually just sort of be out of it at lunchtime and be the same as they are in the Mediterranean, where they do have those
absolutely.
siestas. I do think if we are going to continue to have this kind of weather because the
Hope we
planet is
do.
changes. Oh, I do too, because everything you said about vitamin D is absolutely correct. And it's absolutely essential that we get that vitamin D
You
through the
you can't
melanin
get
in
it
our skin.
from
And
supplements. That's a fact.
sorry.
You can't get all these effects that I've just said from just supplements, Foster.
No, you can't. You can't. I mean, you can bring that into your nutrition, and one of those things is mushrooms that's packed with vitamin
Yeah,
D, but
yeah.
there is nothing like vitamin D being manufactured in the melanin in your skin. So absolutely. And I think that I don't know. I do wonder what's in the water. There seems to be
Coming down,
a
fluoride.
deficiency. I'm going to use the word a deficiency. So we could all be vitamin deficient and we can all be deficient in one way or another. But the biggest deficiency that is affecting people on this island is the deficiency of common sense. What
Absolutely,
has
100%.
happened to fundamental common
Yeah,
sense?
yeah.
And I actually think when you've got a long term weather forecast that tells you that you're going to be hitting 30-degree plus temperatures, it's down to people who run certain businesses to say to their staff, we're closing between 12 and 2.
Such and such. Yeah,
Yeah, and we're actually adopting a Mediterranean approach while this heat wave
yeah.
is
Because you
running
see
through.
staff struggling. I have. If you
Absolutely.
go out and have lunch, they're struggling. They're not happy. And you're not going to get a good service because they're literally worn. The sun, it's so powerful, the midday sun, that it you're made to rest. Actually, it's making you try to rest by
Absolutely.
the effects of it, and
Yeah,
you're fighting against natural elements. It's like a huge wind, isn't it? You
absolutely.
can't fight it. You've just got to get out of it.
You have got to actually adapt and change to your present circumstances. You cannot just go, well, actually, we all have to work from 9 to 5 because the contract says so. Yes, there is a contract, but sometimes let's
But it's got to
sit
be
down
flexible.
as a workforce and say, what would work for you? What would, you can either come in an hour earlier and leave an hour earlier, but to make up for those for that 2 hour lunch
Yeah,
break. You
yeah,
know, in a lot of places it's just an hour lunch, and most
yeah,
factories
yeah,
or shops or anything.
yeah.
But let's just shut
It
down for
is,
2 hours.
you're right, 100% Foster. It's sense and sensibility with
Yeah,
everything. And
yeah,
human beings should be flexible.
absolutely. And you see, if we weren't under the current laws and legislations, we would naturally do that. We would naturally follow the cycles of what was going on around us. If it's pouring with rain
The
and
natural
blowing,
world. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
because we are part of that. We are part of the natural process. We're born of the earth, on the earth, and should be allowed to correspond with the way everything flows upon the planet. Not told, no, you
yeah,
can't have a 2 hour lunch break because the contract says. No, actually, we as people say, I do think there needs to be a change to adapt and change wherever possible. But I'm in total agreement with you, Marshall. But for me, the main, the main deficiency at the moment with the human being, especially on this island, is a lack of common sense. Everyone
yeah,
seems to have forgotten.
yeah.
Oh, are they just not being taught? Are we just not being taught how
No,
to be
I think in
sensible?
schools, I don't think they're really teaching children now. They certainly aren't about nature.